really interesting stuff going on.
Is everybody ready? Great. Before you cast your ballot in today's debate, you need to ask yourself the question that I asked the affirmative in the cross-examination period. How can a government whose people are starving and living on less than $1.25 a day credibly tell its citizens that instead of spending its money on the immediate concerns that are impacting their daily lives, it will spend its money on unproven technology that has never powered a national economy before? Any obligation, no matter how small, that is justified upon the threat of future catastrophe is far too much for the countries who are facing a very real, very present catastrophe of malnutrition, infant mortality, poor sanitation systems, disease, and other environmental problems that the affirmative necessarily trades off with because of the zero-sum game that is government focus and government budgets. I'll go on to address some of their specific arguments. First, the affirmative keeps bringing up these instances of future catastrophes from climate change and how it may cause diseases. One is they have not read a single piece of evidence demonstrating a single disease that has been caused by increases in temperature. Two is that their evidence citing the IPCC says, quote, throughout the 21st century, end quote, we can expect these impacts. However, that is still a very long time, which facilitates a gradual transition on the part of developing countries as well as technology transfers from already developed countries to resolve the issues that the affirmative discusses. However, hoisting an obligation upon to them necessarily causes a trade-off. Echoing this argument about how there is a long time to act, Yale professor Edwin Mendelsohn writes in 2009 that statements are largely alarmist and misleading. Although climate change is a problem, society's immediate behavior has an extremely low probability of catastrophic consequences. It is not at all an apparent and immediate problem. Moreover, the 1AC and 2AC have not read a single piece of evidence that defends the necessity of developing countries taking action or having a restriction put upon them. Indeed, we are the only ones citing examples of how in 2012 Mexico signed cap-and-trade legislation into law, how China is increasing their carbon capture and storage technology and reducing their coal consumption by 15% in the status quo, or how Brazil is a global leader in cellulosic ethanol, which holds potential for reducing climate change. These all indicate that when countries are given the opportunity to grow and improve their economies, they will make the choice to reduce climate change. But if you interrupt that process of growth, then what you do is you disrupt any sort of a long-term solution, both to the harms of poverty that are currently plaguing developing countries, but also to their only credible shot at reducing climate change. And for all these reasons, I respectfully urge a negative vote in today's debate.